All right, we are talking money once again with Winnie Sun, financial advisor and managing partner with Sun Group Wealth Partners. Earnings season is here, winning Q2 specifically. What are you expecting? Maybe there's one you want to highlight a company. And are these numbers enough to actually move the market moving forward?
Well, we're hoping so. This is a big week for earnings. So today we're expecting Tesla to announce earnings. Tomorrow's going to be Google. We got Visa, we got Apple, we got Microsoft. Everybody, a lot of big companies are reporting this week. So a lot to watch. I will say that overall we're expecting, the positive numbers to continue. But as you saw recently, there's a lot of other factors in place. Are investors going to continue to celebrate these positive numbers, or are we going to? I think it'll be really interesting because if we see slightly disappointing numbers, I
Right.
think we can see a market pullback pretty quick too.
So here we are, late July. On the second half of the year. Where should investors be right now for the year?
Well, this is an interesting time because typically the summertime means the market's, pretty quiet. If not, there's going to be some lull in different areas, different sort of industries as well. But I would say right now, if you are looking long term, I would definitely buy on dips. There's going to be corrections in here. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of concerns with the variant and whatnot, and that's going to continue to take hold. And we're hearing a lot of analysts saying, well, if your time horizon is long and on tremendous dips, that is a great time to kind of jump in and add a little bit more to your portfolio.
Right now there are a lot of job openings, restaurants, hospitality industry. So when it comes to investing, since we're talking about it, I'm curious, a lot of college children, people, students are taking these jobs, maybe even high
Mhm.
school. When is it I guess it's never too early to invest. So what do you tell these teenagers with they start getting a little bit of an income to start putting money away, and where do they put it?
So, Mike, that's a great question because it's interesting because even in our own practice, we've had a tremendous uptick in clients calling, their kids calling us directly, even. We're looking younger too because it used to be college students, millennials, but now we're looking even Gen Zers. We got 17-year-olds calling us saying, like, what should I invest in, right? Should I go the Robin Hood route or should I do something else? And one thing I would say that you should definitely pay attention to if you're in that area, obviously a lot of interest in investing now with TikTok too. I would say this is if you're going to be investing while high school, if you're looking towards going to college in the future, and you might not have all the monies necessary to pay for college, you might be really smart about how you invest. Because if you invest in your name, like a brokerage account,
Yeah.
not only in your name or your parents' name, that actually has to be inputted into your FAFSA account or FAFSA form for financial aid. So you might want to look at if you have a job and you're a teen,
Right.
maybe look at contributing to a Roth because a Roth doesn't go on the FAFSA form.
Okay. That is a great savings tool, but can you use them to, speaking more of an adult, I guess, question, to house that emergency cash reserve that one may have? Speaking of Roth.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, yeah, we definitely love the idea of having at least 6 months of an emergency reserve for adults right now. If you're
Okay.
a child, I think if you have kids, 3 months for each child is what I would recommend. So you could put a portion of your emergency funds into a Roth IRA if you assume that number one, you're probably going to be okay. You've got a good, very stable job that might be good for you to do. But if you're really not sure, I think keeping it in cash actually wouldn't hurt right now, just to get you through this process during this pandemic.
And if you're looking for more cash and you're a homeowner and you haven't refinanced lately, I checked the rates last week. They're 30-year fix. I think it's dipped below 3%. So there's an opportunity, I think, also to get a few $100 extra savings and tuck that money away.
Yep. So that's some good news that we have. Then
Yeah.
mortgage rates are at a new 5 month low. This gives like over 14 million Americans have a chance to refinance. So absolutely, I'm actually looking at rates that are closer to 2.5, if not to lower end of 2%. So definitely do your homework. My one tip would be is to shop around before you let that lender pull your credit. Make sure to have your credit score handy. Shop around a couple places. Tell them don't pull my credit, and once you see the terms that you like, then consider going through that process with that lender, or having the lender that you prefer match that rate. So this is a
Interesting.
chance to really get aggressive and making sure that your refinance is in your best interest.
So that's a good tip. So always ask for the terms and say if you like them, then you can
Mhm.
run the credit. Don't let them run the credit first.
Right.
Yep. Got
Right.
it.
Know your credit score ahead of time, and most importantly, go with the lender that you're most comfortable with.
In the past, Winnie, you've said, you should always kind of talk to your financial advisor before the end of summer. Why that time of the year is it important to have a brief conversation with a financial advisor?
So this is sort of one of the best times to have a conversation with a financial advisor because you're sort of at that mid-year point, right? So you
Mhm.
know how much you've earned between January and now, so you can kind of predict what it's going to look like for the rest of the year. Plus, if we do know that things are going to be changing, you want to get that plan ahead of time so that you're contributing to maybe your 401k or 403b or IRA and adjusting those investments. Because right now we saw what happened last Monday, right? Huge pullback in the markets. Are you going to be well positioned? Is there going to be any life changes happening between now and the end of the year? There's a lot of things that you should be planning now so that by the holidays, you just have to focus on the holidays, and at least you've got those important financial check marks done now. The accountant is also a great person to be meeting with now as well.
Plan ahead so we don't have to stress later, right?
Exactly. The
That's
the
it.
sooner the better. This is the best time.
There you go. All right. Always a pleasure. Winnie Sun with Sun Group Wealth Partners. Have a great rest of the week, Winnie.
Thank you so much, Mike. Take care.
You too.